Hey guys, today we're going to do the unboxing and overview of the Clark Noire X. So this is a new headphone that's been released by Clark Audio, which is an American headphone company from San Diego, actually, and their focus is on planar magnetic headphones. I would say they're one of the three main players in planar magnetic headphones right now, along with Audis and Hi-Fi-Man. I guess technically Meze as well, although Meze has more traditional dynamic driver headphones too. So I would say the main three planar magnetic audio brands or headphone brands right now probably going to be Hi-Fi-Man and Audis, which are the two bigger ones, and then Clark Audio, which is relatively a newer brand because Clark actually started out modifying I think headphones from the other brands. So anyways, yeah, Clark Audio, not quite as big of a headphone brand as the as Hi-Fi-Man or Audis, but they have been making some stellar closed back planar magnetic headphones. I would say is what they specialize in. They make open backs as well, but I would say closed back planar magnetics is really their go-to calling card, and I've had a lot of good experiences actually with their closed backs, and they've gotten good reviews online, a lot of praise. The Clark Aeon X closed, I think, is one of the best value closed back headphones at that price point, around $500. Then when you jump up to the $900 Aeon 2 Noirs, which is kind of the predecessor to this headphone, those have gotten rave reviews as well. And I think the Aeon 2 Noirs have gotten some of the most recommendations I've seen online for a closed back headphone. So Clark then came out with the E3, which is a headphone I haven't tried yet. I've always wanted to try the E3, but that one has gotten just absolutely critical acclaim across the board. Everyone has said that, you know, all the, like headphones.com, all the guys from there, like a bunch of critics online, yeah, everyone has fallen in love with the Clark E3. Everyone who's heard it has said it's the best closed back headphone you can get. And I've never gotten to try it, unfortunately, because it's a really expensive headphone. It's like a $2,000 headphone. So never got to try it. Always kind of wanted to, but just never got to. Don't have the budget for it. But then here comes the Noir X, which is an update of the Clark Aeon 2 Noir, except this one has some of the same like acoustic tuning technology. They call it metamaterial tuning system from the E3 and the Stealth, actually. So yeah, so Clark's top of the line headphones are the Stealth, Expanse, and Carina, and then the E3. So the trickle down technology, they took the same acoustic metamaterial tuning system. You guys can check it out online, the AMTS. Exactly what that means online, I'm not exactly sure because I'm not a headphone designer, but yeah, the same technology they've been using in their top of the line headphones trickle down into their Aeon headphones. And here we get the Noir X with the new acoustic metamaterial tuning system. Also, you get new ear pads using the Alcantara synthetic suede, which are self-tensioning headband, Gorilla Glass 3 on the ear cups, and those are the upgrades really. Of course, they didn't really have to upgrade it a lot because the Noir actually was already, you know, pretty well acclaimed, but the Noir X just adds on to that, giving you that upgrade. And now I've heard and seen a lot of reviews online saying that this is the best headphone that you can get for the price range, which at the MSRP is $1,000. And yeah, I think for $1,000, it's not like it's really kind of mid-tier actually, because we're talking about headphones these days, they can get pretty expensive. So I would say mid-range. $1,000 has now become mid-range. That's the world that we live in, because high-end headphones can now go into the thousands of dollars. Like the Sysvara Unveiled, really expensive headphone, or the Clark Carinas, like I mentioned, or yeah, the top of the end Stax headphones. Yeah, those are like really super premium high-end headphones. Anyways, for this price range, for $1,000 MSRP, I've heard that the Noir X is one of the best out there. Just like with the E3, basically I've heard that they took the E3 and yeah, they basically made it more affordable, like put it at a more affordable price point. Of course, the E3 I think is still going to sound better, but they really just made the trickle down technology work and put it inside the Noir, and then turn it into a Noir X. And now everyone's been raving about this headphone, just like they did with the E3. So yeah, I'm pretty excited because everyone has been saying this headphone's amazing. It's the best closed back that you can get for this price, and I didn't even get it for $1,000. I actually got it for $700. I actually found it even cheaper than that at a deal. So yeah, let's take a look. This is really like an open box version that I got because I got a bit cheaper. But yeah, all that is to say that these should be some pretty incredible closed back headphones. I've heard so many good things about it. All right, let's check it out. Dan Clark Noire X. All right, so this is the carrying case for it. Looks the same as the other carrying cases. I think this looks pretty much the same as the Aeon 2 carrying case, or the Noir carrying case. So let's put that aside for now. You also get a carrying bag here. Dan Clark Audio branded, of course. And what do you get inside? Okay, you get this little sticker here. You have designed and manufactured in San Diego by Dan Clark Audio. The man who founded the company, by the way, no surprise, name is Dan Clark. Those of you guys are wondering. Okay, so we get one set of cables here. Only one set, unfortunately. Not two sets, right? Okay. You only get one set of cables here. I'll probably get another balanced pair coming in later, but yeah, you get an unbalanced cable to begin with. These are kind of proprietary connectors, I would say, because I don't know really many other headphones besides Dan Clark using these. These are the what is it called? Hirose connectors. Yeah, they call these Hirose connectors. They look kind of like mini XLR connectors to me. Yeah, they look kind of like mini XLR, like 4-pin, like mini 4-pin XLR, but they call it Hirose connectors. And I've only ever seen Dan Clark use them, so they might as well be proprietary. And yeah, you get the unbalanced termination here, which is this is a 1/4 inch jack. Oh, let's focus on that. Yep, 1/4 inch jack. Of course, you can twist it off, and you get a 3.5 millimeter as well. So yeah, unfortunate it doesn't include balanced cables. I'll have to get balanced cables later because my experience with the Aeon 2 closed tells me I probably need a little bit more power to drive this device, and yeah, it would be nice to have a balanced cable just to get that more power. So yeah, first I'll test it, of course, with these included the cables, but I'll probably be using balanced cables later on. You get a certificate of authenticity here. This certificate verifies the authenticity of the headphone, and this is the first time I've gotten a certificate of authenticity with a headphone. Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like on a really expensive, like limited edition headphone, but I don't think these are limited edition, and they're not like that expensive like in the world of headphones, right? Like I said, these are kind of like mid-tier, like mid-range, because these days, you know, real expensive headphones can go into the thousands of dollars. So yeah, it's interesting to get a certificate of authenticity, and it tells you the date, 11/26/24 is I guess when it was made, and serial number too, and then you get a cleaning cloth here too. Okay, cool. It's cool to have a certificate of authenticity. Didn't expect it for a headphone that's not limited edition, but here we go. All right, so here we go. The carrying case looks exactly the same as the Aeon 2 and regular Noir carrying case. Just this one has, well, actually this has the Noir branding on it. And I don't actually own the Noir. I have the Aeon 2 closed back with the Noir pads though. But I don't actually have the Noir headphone. Okay, and let's see what comes inside. I'm guessing it's going to be this similar design as the Noir and Aeon 2. It just folds up like this. Yeah, very compact. Yep. So anyways, case is pretty small, and that's just because Dan Clark with their Aeon 2 and Aeon 2 Noir, they made the headphones very compact and foldable like this. So it's another thing I like about it is that it's very, very compact. So if you're gonna carry it, you know, in a backpack or something like that, it's very easy to fit in a backpack because it just folds up like this. Not many high-end headphones can fold up into this kind of form factor. So it's cool that Dan Clark did like that without compromising any kind of sound quality or anything. Okay, so it just folds out like that. So if you want to fold in again, you just do that. Oh, this one is there. Yep, just fold it in like that, and the arms just kind of they retract in like that. So anyways, it folds up into a very compact design, which is one of the great things about the Aeon 2. Alright, so anyways, it doesn't look too different from the Aeon 2 Noir, to be honest. I think what you would see the difference is you'll have the Noir X branding right here. So that's one thing that you notice. This is Gorilla Glass 3, apparently. That's on these ear cups. It's a nice touch. I don't think you will be banging these anywhere, but it's a nice touch to have Gorilla Glass 3 on there. You got the branding, Dan Clark Audio, the Noir X symbol there. And on the headband itself, it'll say Noir. Yep. So that's something a little bit different than my Aeon 2. My Aeon 2 doesn't actually Actually, my Aeon 2 will just say Dan Clark Audio on them, but this one says Noir. So, anyways, this one a little bit different. Let's see, focus on that. Okay, here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. These pads are pretty good. So the headband here is a kind of it's a self-tensioning headband. Anyways, I've never had issues with Dan Clark's headband. I always felt like Dan Clark's one of the headphone companies that's always been making the most comfortable headphones to wear. I think Dan Clark Audio and Bear Dynamic. These are the two headphone companies that's pretty much across their lineup. Their headphones are supremely comfortable to wear. You can wear them for hours at a time and not feel fatigued or any pain or anything. So yeah, they've been just some of the most comfortable headphones, and I don't expect this one to be any different. Yeah, some nice this looks like this is pretty hard actually. It doesn't actually you have to feel that soft, but maybe get softer over time. Some kind of synthetic leather padding over here or something. But anyways, it's a little bit hard. Maybe it'll soften up over time. But yeah, that's what it is on the headband here. Some kind of like synthetic leather padding or something like that. So these ear cups, they say it's Alcantara ear cups, which kind of feel like, yeah, maybe this part is Alcantara. This feels like synthetic leather as well. This part here. Anyways, feels really nice. Not too soft, just a, you know, kind of like Alcantara. It's like kind of like felt, you know, not really like felt, but the feeling is almost like felt, and or velour, you know, not quite as soft as felt or velour though. And I think this is some kind of synthetic leather here. Yeah, it feels like synthetic sheepskin or something. But anyways, yeah, that's it. You got some nice ear pads here, which seem to be pretty comfortable. The ear pads are not too soft, but they should be pretty comfortable because it's Dan Clark, and Dan Clark has always made very comfortable headphones. And yeah, headband's nice. Like that's very adjustable in the sense that you don't actually have to, like, yeah, so it's self-tensioning. I think that you just basically just put it on, it should just work. Because it's a very flexible type of design. So it's actually, Dan Clark's design has always been really interesting because, yeah, it's like, it's actually kind of ingenious, right? It's like the simplicity of the design. It works for so many different, you know, people's heads. They all have different shapes, and yeah, this design seems so simple, but it's very flexible. It works for most people's head shapes. Yeah, and you don't need to have any kind of like really adjustable tensioning system or anything like that. It's all just done self-tensioning, I guess. Okay, if you look at the connectors here, these are the Hirose style connectors, which, like I said, I've only seen Dan Clark use these. I don't know how many other headphone brands use these connectors, but these Hirose connectors are here. And you can tell, actually, they should be able to have a way you can tell the left side from the right side. I'm kind of looking for it. Yeah, they should have a way. That's like one of the things that I also look for in terms of usability. You got to know which side is left and which side is right, right? How come it doesn't... Interesting. It doesn't really say as much as the... Yeah, so on the on my Aeon 2 the way that they display the left and right is they have it here on the headband here. They'll say left or right, but I don't see that here on the Noir X. How do you know which ear cup is left and which one's right? Unfortunately, I cannot find how to distinguish the left and right ear cups. I think this might be a design flaw, or if I'm missing something, someone let me know, but I really can't find where to find the left versus right here, because normally on the Aeon 2 headphone that I have, it's actually on the headband, but I don't see that here. So, no idea. It's not on the inside of the ear cups, not on the bottom, so I'm not really sure. It's not on the sides here. Oh, by the way, this is how it, yeah, this little like inner headband here, this is how it dusts. So if you have like a bigger head than everyone else or whatever, anyways, it will just kind of go up and down like this, so it'll adjust like that. So that's usually very convenient. So again, very simple but effective system here for the headband. Yeah, I don't know, left versus right, how are you supposed to find out? That's kind of odd. I think they might have missed something here, because that's usually one of the things that a headphone, like a premium headphone manufacturer, would know how to do, right? And it was on the Aeon 2 that I have. So anyways, the Noir X, I'm going to check it out. So yeah, stay tuned for my sound impressions, and then after that I'll have a sound comparison test comparing this with the Aeon 2 Flow and the Aeon 2 closed and some of my other closed back headphones. Stay tuned. Alright, so now I have the Clark Noire X along with some of my other premium closed back headphones that I have. So first thing is I want to compare it to, of course, the Aeon 2. Actually, this is the Aeon 2 Noire technically, because yes, it does look like the Aeon 2 closed, but I have the Noire pads installed onto it. So essentially, with the Noire pads on, it's just the Aeon 2 Noire, because that's really the only difference between the Noire and the Aeon 2 closed. It's just the pads. So anyways, essentially this is the Aeon 2 Noire, the predecessor of the Noir X. So this is the one I really want to compare it to, because this is the, this is a direct successor headphone, right? This was $900 when it was first released, and this is $1,000. So yeah, I want to compare the sound quality first and foremost to the Aeon 2 Noire to see how much of an upgrade the Noir X is. And then I have two other pretty high-end closed-back headphones to compare to as well. These ones are quite different in the tuning and sound signature, but I thought it's still worthy to compare, and technically they're more expensive too. So this is the Denon D9200. It's a $1,600 headphone. It is Denon's flagship closed-back headphone. Actually, it's their flagship headphone because they only make closed-backs. So yeah, the Denon D9200 is one headphone I want to compare it to, $1,600. Denon's flagship closed-back headphone. This one I like pretty good. This is actually probably my go-to closed-back for most listening material, because the bass punches so much on the Denon D9200, and overall the sound signature is yeah, it's a fairly well tuned, I would say. So anyways, the D9200 is kind of my go-to right now. Fairly detailed. And then the recent one I just got, which is the Audio-Technica AWAS. This one is a $1,400 headphone. It's not Audio-Technica's most expensive, but it's probably one of their most expensive. It's really up there. I think they have 2 or 3 more models more expensive than this one, but it's still fairly expensive, and it's still one of Audio-Technica's higher end headphones. So the AWAS, as I'll call it, specializes in mid-range. So this one has a very detailed, very wide mid-range. So that's what I'll compare it to. So yeah, people have been telling me online, right, along with the Dan Clark E3, that the Dan Clark Noire X is the best closed-back headphone for its price. So let's compare it, and actually I'm wondering if they can even beat headphones above its price, like the Audio-Technica AWAS or the Denon D9200. We shall see, right? So anyways, let's get down to testing. Alright, first is going to be the, I'm going to try out the Dan Clark Aeon 2 Noirs first. Yeah, let's give this one a go. This is not one of my main headphones right now that I'm using, but just to get myself familiar with the sound signature. I have listened to it, a few times before while I've owned it, but yeah, it's not gotten as much use as these two in the past few months, I would say. Yeah, let's do some testing. By the way, guys, this is what I'll be using to test with, is my Hy-Vee RS6 DAP. I had this for several years now. It's still my go-to DAP and my go-to music player. It's got a nice R2R DAC inside of it. And I had other DAPs as well, but I think this one's still my go-to. It's very convenient to use and pretty fast and responsive UI. And anyways, pretty good DAC. Let's and also has 700 milliwatts on the balanced, and I'm using a balanced cable for this, so it should drive it pretty well. Okay, so now remember the sound signature of the Aeon 2 Noirs. Overall, I think, well, first of all, let me tell you the difference Aeon 2 closed versus Aeon 2 Noirs. So the padding is the only thing that's different. I changed out the pads and turned it into the Noirs. The regular Aeon 2 closed is a very good headphone. It's actually very reference sounding in the sense that it doesn't actually, it doesn't have any unnatural, pushes in any kind of frequency. It's just very balanced, very neutral. But I found that kind of boring, actually. Some people might say it clinical. So I kind of found the Aeon 2 closed, the normal tuning, kind of clinical for me. It's like a little bit too neutral. So then I changed it out for the Noir. The Noir makes it more like a soft V shape, a little bit more Harman, and adds a little bit more bass, a little bit more treble, and makes it more fun to listen to. So I think a lot of people like the Noirs because it's a more fun sound signature compared to the original Aeon 2 closed. So yeah, that's what I think here. Overall, decent detail. It's not the most detailed. It's not as detailed as these two, but decent detail. Very good soundstage for closed back. I think Dan Clark has always been very good about the soundstage when making closed backs. They're actually known for making some of the best soundstage on the closed back headphones. And as well as some of the best closed back planar magnetics, period. Because it's not like Audis and Hi-Fi Man make good closed back planars, right? They're more known for the open backs. But yeah, overall, decent detail, pretty good soundstage for closed back, fun tuning. So it's yeah, it's got this soft V shape that most people will love. All right, now let's compare it to the Noir X's, which I will actually use the same cables for because these are bounced cables. So I'm going to swap the cables out, same connectors. So I actually don't know which, it doesn't have a, yeah, this one doesn't have like which is left or right, but I think it's actually pretty obvious because when you try to put on this way, it just feels weird. Like your ears kind of get smashed by the ear cups. So I think this is the right way. So yeah, I think this is definitely the right way to use them. So anyways, don't necessarily need the left or right, just put it on and you'll just know which one's left and which one's right. Yeah, because the other way just it just feels more uncomfortable. Yeah, very comfortable, by the way, just like these. They're both pretty comfortable headphones to wear. Like I said, Dan Clark audio headphones have always been very comfortable. You can just wear them for hours. Like, yeah, Beyerdynamic and Dan Clark has always been very comfortable for me. All right, same material. Let's go ahead and test it again. Yeah, Noir X is very good headphones. So, okay, give you guys my impressions of these. So right after listening to the Noirs, the original Noirs, yeah, the Noir X definitely improves upon everything. I wouldn't say it's a night and day difference, but it's definitely an improvement. You can definitely hear a difference like A/B testing or side-by-side testing for sure. Overall, the improvement in detail is just across the board. You get more detailed bass, more detailed highs, mids. I think mids is probably the most prominent because most of the music when you're listening to vocals or guitars is going to come out in the mids, right? So the mids is clearly more detailed on the Noir X, at least side-by-side comparison. And soundstage is noticeably wider as well. So you got wider soundstage, almost like an open back. So this is like an open back level soundstage, very impressive. Mids are pretty detailed. I would say really up there, almost close to the full cal clears. And that's pretty impressive because I never thought that the Aeon 2 Noirs would be close to the full cal clears in mid detail, but the Noir X's come close actually in mid detail. And yeah, just overall, like across the board, you get a bit more detail and a bit more soundstage. And the tuning is roughly the same. So if you like the fun tuning of the Noirs, you get the same fun tuning on the Noir X's, just with more detail and better soundstage across the board. So overall, they just made an improvement on on the Noirs. So it's just a straight up improvement. So yeah, very, very good set of headphones. I can see why so many people like it. Probably for closed back headphone, this is probably the best soundstage I've ever heard on a closed back headphone. Okay, so I'm going to test the Denon D9200s now to compare. And again, these are much more expensive. These are $1,600 headphones. All right. Okay, so yeah, the D9200s I've always found are pretty nicely tuned. I think that's why I've had this as my main close back for a while. The bass is definitely the thing that I think stands out. I think the D9200s, not that it has a lot of bass, but the bass is just good quality bass. So like compared to the D7200, the D7200 actually has a lot of bass. This one doesn't have like as much as the D7200, but still has a bit more. I think actually the amount of bass between the Noir X and the D9200 is about the same, but I would say that the D9200 still has a better quality bass between these two. Now when it comes to the mids, I think that the mids is about the same, and that's actually a good thing for the Noir X because I never thought that the original Noir or the Aeon 2 closed has mids even comparable to the D9200. I think the D9200 originally the mids are just better than this one, but compared to Noir X, roughly about the same. They're both pretty detailed in the mids. Highs, it's interesting. I think the highs are like they're just right on the D9200, but they might actually be a little bit harsh for some people on the Noir X. The Noir X, I noticed that because the highs are elevated, just like on the Noirs, except this one has more detail in the highs as well, it can sound a little bit harsh and sibilant on some tracks. Whereas on the original Noirs, it also might sound sibilant, but maybe not quite as much because it's not quite as detailed. But this one, because the highs are a little bit more detailed, it could sound a little bit harsh and sibilant to some people. It's not too bad for me, but that's just one thing I want to note about the Noir X is that because the highs, just across the board, everything's more detailed, the highs can sound a little bit more sibilant and harsh to some people, whereas the D9200's highs don't sound like that. They're just fine. So really depends. I think both the highs are good. Just this one may be a little bit too sharp for some people, the Noir X. And in that case, the D9200 highs are, you know, not quite as harsh. Okay, but anyways, it's pretty impressive that the Noir X, I would say, competes very well with the D9200, which is much more expensive. And the soundstage, the Noir X has better soundstage across the board. It just has better soundstage. So in many ways, it actually beats the D9200, which is, again, $600 more expensive. All right, now I'm going to try the Audio Technica AWAS, which is just like other Audio Technica high-end headphones, very polarizing because it's a very specific sound signature. All right, let's check it out here. Yep, so the Audio Technica AWAS is a specialist headphone. I would say, just like with a lot of Audio Technica's high-end headphones, they tend to be like very specifically tuned, I would say. So the AWAS's specialty is the mid-range. It's got very, very detailed mid-range, and the soundstage on the mids is quite incredible. So I wouldn't say it doesn't have very good bass. Like, it doesn't have much of it. I wouldn't say it doesn't have very good bass. It has okay quality bass. It's just the quantity isn't that much. So the bass quantity isn't that much on the AWAS. It's still a bright headphone, just like other Japanese headphones are, and just like other Audio Technica headphones. It's pretty bright, but it's the mid-range that really stands out to me about this one. The mids are just pushed a little bit forward, and they're extremely detailed. They're like the full cal Clear Pros, very, very detailed mids. I would say still more detailed than Noir X. So when it comes to the mids, the AWAS is still more detailed. However, the Noir X does come close. So the Noir X comes close in mid detail, but the AWAS still wins when it comes to mid detail. And then obviously the Noir X wins when it comes to the bass and treble as well, I would say. So yeah, that's it. Pretty much all these headphones. So let's see. So the Noir X overall, I would say, is a very good headphone. I think if you're going to recommend someone a closed back headphone in the $1,000 price range, this is the one to get. And I agree with everyone else online saying that this is probably the best closed back you can get in its price range, because for $1,000 it's hard to beat this. I mean, you basically took a already pretty good headphone here, the Noir, and you improve on it, and just, you know, all the detail and soundstage, you just improve on that further. So yeah, I mean, it's not much bad to say about it. The only thing I can say is that if you got sensitive ears for the highs, the treble might be a little bit too harsh to some people, might be a little bit fatiguing or sibilant to some people, but that's really about it. There's not really much bad to say about this. It's not really, or if you're looking for like a reference neutral sound signature, that's not this headphone, because the Noir is not like that either. These are like a little bit more soft V-shaped, you know, a little bit more Harman tuned, so it's a little bit more fun. Yeah, it's not really meant to be like a neutral headphone. If you're looking for a neutral headphone, I would say some of the full cal headphones, like a full cal Elex, for example. Elex is a very neutral headphone and very detailed. I think that would be a go-to, but it sounds too clinical for me. Or even just the regular Aeon 2 closed. That's a pretty neutral clinical headphone. So if you're looking for that soundstage, go for those. But yeah, or even the Fostex TH610, I think is a fairly balanced or neutral sounding headphone. But yeah, Noir X is a fun sounding headphone. It's soft V-shape, and it just improves the detail and the soundstage across the board compared to the Noir. So this is just an amazing headphone for the price. I think most people will like this headphone. So yeah, the only ones that won't like it are people who are very sensitive to the highs, or if you're preferring just a flat, you know, more neutral sounding headphone. But everyone else will enjoy this headphone. So that's it, guys. Just to go over it again, soundstage wise, this just beats all the other headphones here in soundstage. There's no question. Like the $1,400 AWAS or the $1,600 D9200 doesn't matter. The Noir X has the best soundstage out of all of them, just clear cut. When it comes to detail, so when it comes to the highs, I think that the Noir X actually has the best highs here, probably. Even though it could be a little bit harsh and sibilant to some people, I think it actually has the best highs here. Mids, I still think the Audio Technica AWAS has the best mids here. Very detailed. Yeah, just the organic sounding mid-range on here is great. I love the mids on the AWAS. That's pretty much why I keep it. It's a very specialized headphone. It's just for the mids. But I love hearing the vocals and the guitars on this. It sounds great. Yeah, bass. D9200 still wins on bass. The bass is just very good quality on the D9200s. What can I say? Denon just knows how to do bass. All their headphones have had pretty good bass. D5200, 7200, 9200, they all have good bass. Denon just knows how to do bass. So yeah, bass, I think D9200 still wins. But overall, if you're talking about like balanced sound signature, especially for the price, the Noir X I think is the way to go, man. I mean, D9200 still has like, it's still very good tuning for the D9200, but it's $1,600. It's $600 more expensive than this. And I don't think it's $600 better. So like at best they're about equal. And if they're equal, this is a better value because this is like, this is $1,000. It's cheaper. So also, yeah, like the soundstage on this is better. So anyways, overall the D9200 does have some, you know, strengths over the Noir X, but I think my main headphone, my main closed back headphone before was the D9200 because I did like how well tuned it was, and the bass on this was great. But yeah, I think now I'm gonna say the Noir X is gonna become my main closed back headphone from now on, which is saying a lot because you guys see how many closed back headphones I've done on my channel so far. So anyways, Dan Clark Noire X, hats off to Dan Clark Audio, man. They really, they took their E3, which I wish I tried before. I haven't tried it yet, really want to try it. But they trickled down the technology down to the Aeon line, and you get an extremely, well, just an extremely all-around good headphone in the Noir X. Because one of the things I didn't like about the Noir was that it just wasn't quite as detailed all around compared to some of the Denons and Audio Technicas I had. And they fixed that by adding more detail and more soundstage as well to the Noir X. And therefore, they fixed pretty much my only complaint about this headphone. So anyways, it's comfortable to wear. The price is actually good for what you get compared to the other headphones. It's not cheap. I'm not saying $1,000 is cheap, but still, I mean, for $1,000, you might, out of all the headphones for $1,000, it's hard to beat this one. Man, I mean, yeah, just a very, very good headphone all around. So anyways, Dan Clark, Noir X. It's going to be my go-to closed back headphone from now on. It's very, very good. Well tuned, very fun. Good detail all around. Good soundstage. Not too much to complain about. Comfortable to wear. Yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think of in the comment section below, and I'll have a comparison test coming up, showing you guys the sound of the Noir X and comparing it to these guys. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree? But yeah, as always, I agree with everyone online. This is the headphone to beat for $1,000 for closed backs. All right, thanks for watching. This one better, and then the Noir X if you want. These are the improved versions of the other ones.
Oh, okay, so I haven't tried these before?
Nope.
What brand is this?
Dan Clark.
Oh, these are Dan Clark,
yeah.
Okay.
So these are the new improved versions of the other ones, and they have a bit more soundstage, a bit more detail.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Still very good tuning on those. Yeah, it's actually, you know, the E3s, right? The Dan Clark E3 everyone raves about. Mm-hmm. So it's the same technology as the E3s, but like, you know, just made into their affordable tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new Dan Clark's definitely has a lot more detail than the old Dan Clark. The one. It's definitely way more clear. Yep. But it's also very bright. It's very bright sounding now. But
yeah, I think the Noir X is pretty good. They basically, the main issue with the old one was it didn't have as much detail.
Yeah, but well tuned, but not enough detail.
Yeah, but now that part's fixed, then it's just overall a very balanced headphone. So I think, yeah, everyone's been talking about it, praising it. I think, yeah, it's overall pretty good. The soundstage is probably the best I've heard out of any closed back. So Dan Clark's really good with the closed back soundstage. So.
I'm comparing it to their 9200s because their sound signatures are actually pretty similar.
Okay.
A little bit, a touch of warmth because the bass is a little bit.
So you think these are warm?
Compared to these two, obviously they're warmer. But in general, they're not that warm. But then they're warmer than these two. The bass is just a little bit boosted, So then that bass actually bleeds a little bit into the lower mids a little bit. So it makes the mids a touch veiled, a little bit veiled, just very little, but still good. Yeah, still good. Overall, it's still tastefully done.
Yeah, maybe these ones have a little bit of a bass push, but it's quality bass.
Yep, exactly. So, it's not like overdone.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Yeah, these FLC8S, man, they sound like better versions of the 9200s. It's like, wow. They're pretty much like the same sound signature, except the mids are better for these ones.
Okay.
So because that one, the mids are still good, but they sound just a touch veiled compared to like the bass and everything, just a touch. But this one has the same bass as that, but the mids, but it didn't bleed into the mids.
Okay.
And then the mids actually sound more forward and more clear, more detailed. So it's actually not veiled at all. So it's got that bass, but then much better mids, and the treble is nice, and it doesn't sound metallic too. You know, like some of these other headphones nowadays. Man, this is so hard to find something that beat this thing. I've been trying. It's like,
that's pretty good.
I was like A-Bing with like the top end Sennheiser. There's like $1,600.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is better than that. It's like.
But compared to my Dan Clark's.
Dan Clark's different because this actually sounds a bit more warmer and full, whereas that's more clean and more neutral and kind of more bright. So if anything, this sounds kind of similar to that actually. They sound pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah, they sound pretty similar. In terms of detail, they're pretty close.
How would you compare the Dan Clark's to the 9200s?
You know what? It comes down to I think in general, I think maybe these are a little bit better. They have they're a little bit less veiled in the mids, a bit more balanced. But honestly, it just depends on what signature you want. But if we want to talk about technicality, though, this one has a bit more detail in the mids.
Yeah, it has more soundstage too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It has a little bit more soundstage, and it's got a bit more detail in the mids. That one's a little bit more bass. Depends on what you want, but this is technically maybe the slightly better headphone. Yeah. But they're both
I was comparing all of them. This is the newest one. It's you know, everyone talks about this one. I was like, is it really like the best clothes? And this is like $1,000 new, right? And I got it for $700 actually on sale.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to actually find any faults with it. I'm like, for this price, man, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, like this is actually pretty close. These two, like they're kind of close.
Yeah, and that's saying, I mean, that's a HG1000.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So that's saying a lot. So
yeah, but this is still a little bit better though. This one still sounds a little bit more natural compared to that one.
Yeah.
So
but in this one, I think Dan Clark is one of their best headphones that they ever made.
I think so. Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the Dan Clark's, but with more detail. I mean.
Yeah, and it originally was pretty balanced, right? Like the only thing was the detail. So and then they got that fixed. So then yeah.
Yeah, so you can't really beat that. I mean, for that $1,000 actually is actually okay. It's
$1,000.
It's a close back too.
Yeah, it's a close back.
Yeah, it's a close back.
And it sounds and the sound stage is like an open back. Yeah. Which is crazy. I don't know how they did that.
Yep.
But for all around close back, I mean it's hard to beat that.
I know. How much did you get this one for?
$700.
Okay, you buy used, right?
Actually, I bought it like almost open box, and I was surprising because it's new too. It just came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it was $1,000, and I was like, man, I hear good reviews about it, but I don't know if I can pick it up for the full price. Right. Then I saw it on eBay. Right. It's one of the big retailers too. It's not. It's a Crutchfield or something. It's one of the big retailers. Okay. Yeah. And then they had it for $700, and I was like, okay, I'm picking it up because it's like
interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's good condition and everything, and it's hard to beat for that price. Yeah. So after that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll sell the D9200. So the 9200 is like this is a much more expensive headphone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll try asking that guy again. I actually messaged him about your headphones.
Yeah.
He just ignored it. He didn't reply back to me.
Oh really?
Yeah, but
he might like the 9200.
Yeah, I'll send him the same message again because I'm gonna be seeing him again this week. Yeah, because he wants me to try out a couple of his gear. Yeah.
Okay.
And then so I sent it to him again.
Let him know about it.
Yeah, let him know about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for me, it's like my FLC8S is just that one bit better. So it's like, man, I'm trying to really find IEM that's better than my FLC8S. It's just so hard.
Well, you can just keep it.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's like
keep it. Like I think the only one you said might be better was the Noble Cons.
Yeah.
But the Noble Cons were like $2,000.
Exactly.
So you have to really go up to that level.
Yep.
I think now you can probably get Noble Cons a lot cheaper now.
Yeah.
But
even then, I don't even know how much more better it is. I didn't AB it completely. Yeah.
I think you said the mids were a bit better than the cons.
I think in general it was just more dynamic and just it should be better. But I didn't AB it though. So so that's the only thing that I think is probably better. Yeah. Everything else I didn't AB. It just either it's very almost the same, But in some ways, I still think that's a little better because there's a little bit of warmth to it, but not too much, just a touch, and it's not overdone, and the detail's still there. It pretty much sounds like the Aria stuff. Yeah, it sounds like the Aria stuff.
Well, that's really good.
Exactly.
So that's such a good sound signature.
It's the Aria sound signature. Yeah, it's like just enough fun, but it's still neutral, and it's a little bit warm across the board, but there's still a lot of detail too. It's like, so.
Yeah, like for me, I'm probably just gonna sell almost all the headphones except for, so I'm keeping the Aria Stealth because that's just so, like, it's so well tuned.
Yep.
And for the open back, and if a closed back, I'm leaning towards the Noir X's because it's just a hard to find fault with it. I mean, yeah, I compare like, and maybe like these audio technically are so specialized though. It's like for the mids, these are really good, but then like it's not really balanced or anything. It's just kind of like a specialist sound signature.
Also, it's like a mid-centric.
It's a mid-centric. You remember the Fostex TH610s and how you said that the mids are kind of pushed on those? It's kind of like that, except I feel like it's like, you know, a little bit like even more improved on that. Okay. So yeah, so I keep this for like a specialist thing, but yeah, all around I think the Noir X is good. I'll probably keep that as my close back.
Yeah, these ones and the Shure 940s are probably the two best close backs that I've heard. Yeah.
And the E3s are supposedly an even better version of this. So I think that's why everyone talks about it. It's like, yeah.
But these are nice. I mean, it's entering HC1000 level in the quality.
It's a close back.
Yeah, it's a close back. Yeah.
And even at the retail price, it's not too expensive.
Now it makes you really think what the E3 sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, if you compare, like, these are like way more expensive than those, right? So
these actually these are kind of like the Shure 940s, but with a little bit more bass and a little bit more soundstage.
Yeah, I think the tuning's well done, soundstage is well done, detail's good. Like this, it's good.
Did you sell your Shure 940s?
No, I still have them.
Okay.
Yeah, because like it's not even.
It's not even that expensive.
It's not expensive.
Exactly.
So
I mean, just keep it around.
It's as good as a backup, even.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, which makes me curious about the E3s because this is like the scaled down version of the E3s.
If I see one of these for really cheap, I might grab one too. Yeah. I mean, because it's a closed back, right?
And on top of that, it's comfortable because Dan Clark always makes really comfortable headphones too. So.
Well, it's different too because you notice the headband, you don't have to adjust it yourself manually. It just kind of stretches.
Yeah, it automatically kind of does that. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I think that's why everyone's been recommending that one in the E3.
E3, I really want to try. How much is the E3 normally MSRP?
2,000, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like double the price, but
those headphone guys didn't have the E3, right?
They didn't at the time, but they might now. I'm not sure because they were brand new at the time. So now they might.
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be so interesting to try if we can just AB.
I know. Now
if we can AB it compared to this one.
I'm really curious about the E3.
Yeah, I'm really curious. If we can just AB compared to two of them, right? Cause,
yeah.
Because
that's already really good.
Yeah, this is already really good. Nice.
난 또 너를 두드리고 있어 반짝이는 수면 위를 매일 잔잔하게 일렁이는 사이 날 알 수 없는 너를 가만 보면 깊은 그 눈빛이 궁금해지면 괜히 거친 바람처럼 날 너를 헤집어 알아 하루 종일 넌 비춰 빠짐없이 내 어떤 날씨까지 믿기게 하려고 웃는 너는 So tell me what you wanna do boy 너만 닿을수록 thirsty 분명 가득한 듯 thirsty Yeah I got you boy sipping all night sipping all night 얕은 수면보다 훨씬 짙은 너의 맘 끝까지 알고 싶어 just sipping all night sipping all night 맘이 커질수록 thirsty 난 또 너를 두드리고 있어 반짝이는 수면 위를 매일 잔잔하게 일렁이는 사이 날 알 수 없는 너를 가만 보면 깊은 그 눈빛이 궁금해지면 괜히 거친 바람처럼 날 난 또 너를 두드리고 있어 반짝이는 수면 위를 매일 잔잔하게 일렁이는 사이 날 알 수 없는 너를 가만 보면 깊은 그 눈빛이 궁금해지면 괜히 거친 바람처럼 나 너를 헤집어 알아 하루 종일 넌 비춰 빠짐없이 내 어떤 날씨까지 믿기게 하려고 웃는 너는 So tell me what you wanna do boy 너만 닿을수록 thirsty 운명 가득한 듯 thirsty Yeah I got you boy Sip sip sipping all night Dip 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 dipping all night 얕은 수면보다 훨씬 짙은 너의 맘 끝까지 알고 싶어져 Sip sip sipping all night Dip 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 dipping all night 맘이 커질수록 thirsty 난 또 너를 두드리고 있어 반짝이는 수면 위를 매일 잔잔하게 일렁이는 사이 날 알 수 없는 너를 가만 보면 깊은 그 눈빛이 궁금해지면 괜히 거친 바람처럼 나 너를 헤집어 알아 하루 종일 넌 비춰 빠짐없이 내 어떤 날씨까지 믿기게 하려고 웃는 너는 So tell me what you wanna do boy 너만 닿을수록 thirsty 운명 가득한 듯 thirsty Yeah I got you boy Sip sip sipping all night Dip 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 dipping all night 얕은 수면보다 훨씬 짙은 너의 맘 끝까지 알고 싶어져 Sip sip sipping all night Dip 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 dipping all night 맘이 커질수록 thirsty
Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find. There, another road where maybe I could see another side. There, ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't lie, you knew I wanna hold you. And had you gone, you knew in time we'd meet again, for I told you. Ooh, you were meant to be near me. Ooh, I really want for you to hear me say we'll be together every day. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find. There, another road where maybe I could see another side. There, ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't lie, you knew I wanna hold you. And had you gone, you knew in time we'd meet again before I told you. Ooh, you were meant to be near me. Ooh, I really want for you to hear me say we'll be together every day. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find. There, another road where maybe I could see another side. There, ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't lie, you knew I wanna hold you. And had you gone, you knew in time we'd meet again before I told you. Ooh, you were meant to be near me. Ooh, I really want for you to hear me say we'll be together every day. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was sound.